Welcome to the Irresistible You podcast. This is the place to get a dose of empowerment to create the life you crave and deserve. I'm your host, Amy Beltran, CEO and founder of Irresistible University. Through my podcast and signature coaching program, I teach women just like you how to ditch the body image issues, gain confidence, and lose the emotional weight to look and feel irresistible at any size. If you like the podcast, you're going to love my group coaching program. If you would like to learn more about it, including the investment cost, what's included, see real client testimonials, and to sign up and enroll, please head over to irresistibleicing.com/course. The link is also in the show notes. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. If you are new here, hello and welcome. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss a thing. If you are an OG listener, welcome back. All right, guys, we are jumping into it. Let me say this first. It is February 1st, 2022. Can you even? We are in month 2 of 2022. And that is why today's topic is so timely, because I just want to touch base with you guys to dive in and just see where you're at with the goals that you set, to see where you're at with your vision for where you want to go this year in 2022. Because as you know, if we are not intentional about what we want, and where we want to go and how we want to up level ourselves and how we want to step into this, irresistible you version of ourselves, the time is going to just slip through your fingers because life is going to be busy. There's always going to be things going on. Things are going to take you off course and try to steer you in the different direction. So let's reset. It's a new month. We're going to reset, we're going to revisit, and we're going to figure out, am I headed in the right direction of where I want to be? And, I know this all too well, you guys, with just how quickly life, it seemed like even today, right? I sat down at the desk. I had some client projects I needed to wrap up and finish. And next thing I know, I look up and it's almost the middle of the afternoon. And I'm looking at my to-do list going, oh my God, like, how did I get here already? And it's like, if we don't set intentions and we don't get intentional about what we want to do and how we want to do it, that is how every day is going to feel. And this January, oh my gosh, it was like, and we're still in it right now, you guys. So Catalina had stomach virus, and that went on. That's why we didn't have an episode last week, because I was in it, y'all. I was in it. You know how it is if you have kids, like, Lord. So she had a stomach virus. She was home from school all week. And it's a double whammy when you're a type 1 diabetic, because not only are you dealing with all the stuff from the stomach virus and then not having an appetite, I'm also over here managing blood sugars on a whole nother level, because we could not keep her blood sugar high, like not high, but like up, because she's not eating enough. She's just crashing. It was a lot. It was a learning experience. It was our first GI issue, with her having diabetes. She's a kid. It's not going to be the last time she has a stomach thing. But that was just a whole thing. Plus, it snowed. And we just shut down when it snows in Virginia Beach because we don't know what we're doing. Like, we just can't. We can't handle it. And then my husband was out to sea for the week with work. So it was just a whole lot of stuff going on. So she starts feeling better. Wake up to Javi crying, throwing up, diarrhea all over the place. The moment, like the day after she got better. So now we're in the middle of that. So it's just been a whole mess, and we're trying to deal with all these things, and deal with our responsibilities, our obligations. Maybe where's the fun in it, right? And I was telling my husband, I said, here we go again. I was like, I talked a lot about on the podcast how last year, 2021, was just a year for us of survival. There was a lot of things going on, a lot of really life-changing things going on, and it was really just a year of survival and just trying to get through it. And I decided in 2022, it's no more just survival. We need to also be thriving. Like, I need to thrive again. I need to feel good. I need to be feeling myself. I need to do all the things, okay? And I worked so many hours in January. Like a lot of time. Like, I would work even after the kids went to bed, there was nights where I was working till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, getting up and doing it all over again. So, you know, next thing I know, here we are in February, and I was like, I got to put the brakes on this. Life, and I know I say it to you guys, and I have to keep reminding even myself, it's like life is always going to throw us off course, right? Life is always going to have these curveballs that we didn't plan for, that we didn't expect. It's not like I sat around and put my intentions and goals together for January and said, I really hope that my whole family comes down with the stomach bug and, has throw up and diarrhea for like 2 weeks in a row. I really hope that happens. Nobody sits around and asks for these things to happen. And, there are times where we're going to get thrown off course. We're going to get off of our track a little bit, but we also have to, you know, have the ability and the tools and the resources and the skills and our tool belt to get back on track and not let these things take us under. So I was just like, I can't do this again. I cannot have another month where it feels like survival mode all over again, where I constantly lately feel like I'm just playing catch up. My to-do list is behind, and so the next day I'm like, I'm a hustle, 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 get it done, get it done, get it done. Well, you guys know what happens, right? In adult life, 5 more things get thrown on that to-do list, and then your kid gets sick and you can't be in the office or you can't be at home or whatever. And it's like, enough is enough. It's February 1st. Use this day. If you feel like you need a clean slate, let's make that what today is about. And because it's February, it's the month of love. I always love to theme and talk about self-love here on the podcast. And I truly believe being intentional and having routines is the key to self-love. It is the key, right? Because let's think about this, okay? It's just like with weight. We keep telling ourselves, I'll start over tomorrow. I'll just get it done. I'll just lose the weight. I'll just put my head down, or I'll just get through this to-do list and I'll finally catch up and then I'll be in a good spot, right? Like, come on. I saw this funny quote and I don't remember where it was, and I'm probably going to butcher the hell out of it, but it was it was in the gist of, I realized adulting is just a series of when things get better or when things slow down, I'll do X, Y, and Z. If that's not it, I don't know what is. So I think, we can't sit here and just keep our heads down and tell ourselves when it slows down or when I lose the weight, when I have more money, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. We just have to start becoming more intentional about what we want and how we want to spend our time. And if you are not intentional and you don't have routines, it will always feel like the rug is being pulled out from under your feet. You have to have these things. And when you don't have a routine in your life, you don't have intention about what you're doing, that's when the inner fat bitch creeps in, the overwhelm, the depression, the anxiety. And we always say that, taking action alleviates anxiety, right? Let me relate it back to weight, where it's like, that anxiety you feel when you need to get back on track, you have to start eating better, you're putting on some pounds, and you have so much anxiety about it, but you don't even know what to do next. Or hold on. You tell yourself you don't know what to do next, but you actually know what you need to do to get yourself back on track, right? And that moment that you get back on track and you start tracking your food and planning your meals and paying attention, aka being intentional with your food choices, doesn't that alleviate some of the stress and the anxiety of like, oh my God, how am I ever going to lose this weight? I feel out of control. You feel out of control when you're not being intentional and you're zombie eating your way through life. If you're zombie walking, zombie eating through life, it's always going to feel like the time is just dripping through your fingers. Okay? So we have to get intentional and we have to have routines. That is the key to self-love. It's all about, how they say that it's not about the final destination, right? It's the journey. The journey is the goal. The goal is not the goal, right? The goal is the journey because you're always going to be on this journey of life. It's not a one and done type of thing. That to-do list that you're looking at right now on your desk or on your phone that just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing, that to-do list will never go away. You might cross it off with your pretty highlighter for today, maybe even tomorrow, but that to-do list will always be there. So, how are you going to get intentional about what it is you want to do? Having routines, having goals, being intentional about your time. What does that even mean? Let's break that down. Let's unpack that. When you're intentional about what you want and you're intentional about what you choose to do, that's the thing, right? You are thinking and making a conscious decision to do something. You're not just allowing life to sweep you up out to it's like sweeping you out in this big wave and you don't even know what to do. Someone that's intentional is like, oh, hell no. I have a boat. I have a life vest. I have a dinghy in case that boat doesn't work. And I'm going to be intentional about how I go out here. This wave is not just going to sit here and take me away. Okay? Even though it wants to, I'm not letting that happen because I'm going to be intentional about my time. And I would even say, like, if we want to add to this list of, the keys to self-love, so is discipline. Self-discipline equals self-love. Because think about this, guys. When you don't feel good about yourself, when you don't love yourself, you don't treat yourself with respect. And you constantly disrespect yourself with your decisions. Whether it's that decision to overeat, till you gorge yourself till you can't move and you feel like shit, that is not self-love. When you don't clean up the space around you, you are not showing yourself love and respect. When you stay up till all hours of the night and you don't put yourself first and your health so that you can get enough rest, and you know how you feel the next day and when you're not sleeping enough, that's not self-love or self-respect either. It's like my daughter, oh Lord, lately it's like, let's give us a hard time because you have to go to bed, and I'm a very I'm not rigid. I'm a very structured parent, to the point like this is bedtime. We have our routine. Kids thrive on routines and so do adults. Human beings thrive on routine. We just do. And, she's like, I don't feel like going to bed. I want to stay up all night. I'm like, I'm not letting you stay up all night. I said, I need you to go to bed so that you can recharge your battery so that you can feel good tomorrow and have a healthy, happy day. I was like, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't care when you go to sleep. And it's the same thing with ourselves. Think about that. Like I tell my child, I'm like, you are never going to be here running around the house all hours of the night. Like that's just not going down in my house. We have a routine. We have things that need to get done because that's just the way it is. And I love my kids and I want the best for them. And if I didn't want the best for them, I'd be like, well, stay up all night. I don't give a shit. Right? So it's like, how are you treating yourself? If you don't give yourself a routine, a bedtime, a cutoff, a wind down, or whatever, you're just disrespecting yourself left and right, and you're not being intentional about that time. And routine, we don't have to get fancy about it. Like, I want you to start thinking about like what is the current routine that you have? Because even if you don't have the routine that you want, let me tell you something. You still have a routine. If you lay your ass on the couch from 9 p.m. until 2 in the morning and you've been doing that consistently for the last year or months or whatever, that is your routine. So you need to change it. And for me, when I want to be like thriving, it's like the little things that really aren't that little. It's making sure before I go to bed at night, my kitchen needs to be clean. The sink needs to be empty. It needs to be, we need to spray it down, clean it out, clean off the bar. There's a bar area like near that needs to be cleaned off. The clutter needs to be put away. Because in the morning, that's going to set up the type of day I'm going to have. So what I'm doing when I take that time at night to clean the dishes, run the dishwasher, wipe the counters down, make sure everything is off there, put the pillows back on the couch, put the toys away, make everything look, nice and presentable, I'm already laying the intention for tomorrow. Because I'm intending for tomorrow to go where I come downstairs in the morning and the first thing I do, like I don't want to see a mess the very first thing in the morning because it's going to piss me off and it's going to be a chain reaction. But the opposite can happen too, where it's like, oh, this is so nice. Like you see the clean kitchen, the clean living room, everything's put away. You feel so much better about starting your day. Same thing in your bathroom. Don't have your bathroom a mess, clothes on the floor, shit all over the counters. Have it ready to go in the morning. Have your clothes laid out. Have the lunches made. Set yourself up for success. Be intentional about what it is you're trying to do. And what happens so often is people complain, I'm not where I want to be. I haven't lost the weight. I'm not making enough money. I'm not doing this. I can't believe I haven't met these goals. Well, what are you doing to work those goals? What are the intentions that you've set and that you create? What intention are you putting into your routine to make yourself get to those goals? And chances are you're probably not, because it's that tidal wave of life that has just swept you off your feet and you don't have a boat, you don't have a dinghy, you don't have a life jacket, you don't even know how to swim. So you're just barely there with your nose above water trying to survive. And we can only stay in survival mode for so long because we will shut down, we will burn out, we can't do it for so long. I've talked a lot about survival mode in the last few episodes, and it truly changes your brain. We have to get intentional to get ourselves out of that situation, right? And when you're not being intentional about your time, that time just feels like it's always slipping away. If you sit down, and I'm telling you guys, this morning I even put it in my calendar for tonight when everybody goes to bed, when all the kids go to sleep. I have time in my calendar that is scheduled to remind me to sit down. I want to look at January. I want to reassess. What did I accomplish? What did I want to accomplish and I didn't? What are my goals for this month that I want to hit? And how am I going to do that? You have to set these dates with yourself. You have to set these dates of like, okay, let's have a check-in. And let's be honest. Quit kidding yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't sugarcoat it. You got to stop lying to yourself. Like, what's the truth? What's the reality? What is it that you really want to do? And what stopped you from getting there? And if it's you got in your own way and you chose, being lazy or just vegging out in front of the TV instead of being productive, oh, that's fine. Just tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself the truth. So the only way you're going to get where you want to be is to have an intentional routine with you. And that is the key to self-love. I'll just go on a diet till I get the weight off. But you're not setting yourself up with a routine for the rest of your life. You're setting yourself up with this temporary bullshit that's not going to last, that's going to fizzle out, that you're going to resent and you're going to hate. That's the other thing. Stop trying to be everything at one time. you know, if you're sitting there going, okay, I need to change my routine, I'm listening, I'm taking notes, I need to take a look at my routine, make some changes. We don't need to then go, okay, tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm going to, do a workout. I'm going to meal prep for every day. No, start small. What are the little things that you could be doing that are going to set you up for success tomorrow, the next hour, the next couple days? What does that look like? What does it look like? Um, and that's how you start to build habits as well, is you do things slowly, small steps that are going to get you there. You know, if you're constantly, ugh, I look like shit, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly, I look so gross, I can't believe I've let myself go. Okay, number one, we have to change the conversation that you're having with yourself. But number two, what have you been doing? What have your actions been? What have your intentions been? What has your routine been? If your routine has been rolling your ass out of bed because you stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning watching some stupid ass show, and then you wake up in the morning and you don't have the energy to even take a shower, so you just throw on yesterday's clothes, and yesterday's clothes was a hot mess. You're not doing your hair, you're not doing your makeup, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not putting good food in your body, you're not, drinking your water and doing all the things you need to do. Well, okay then. That's the honest conversation that you have to have. And so then the self-discipline has to come in to where it's like, okay, I know that every single day, if I don't get myself ready for the day, it has a trickle-down effect the entire day. It makes me feel lazy. It makes me feel unmotivated. It makes me have all this inner fat bitch talk going on. And I don't want to feel that way anymore. So what do I need to do? I need to make sure that I'm prioritizing waking up and getting myself ready every single day. Self-discipline. When I want to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning, I have to remind myself, nope. If you want to watch that show, you can watch it over the weekend. You can watch one episode. You can watch 1 hour. But we need to get ourselves to bed because we have goals and we have a way that we want to feel. Because that feeling, which is what we all want, that feeling that we crave of who we want to really be, that feeling doesn't just arrive at some magic moment because you start making enough money, you've lost enough weight, it doesn't arrive at this moment. There's no such thing. It arrives in the doing. It comes in the process. It comes in the routine. So when you start creating intentional routines, well, guess what? Then you get to start feeling the way you intend. Make sense? So as a takeaway this week, what I want you to do is I want you to assess January. Did you accomplish your goals? What did you do well? What did you not do well? What stopped you? If you didn't accomplish your goals, what stopped you? If you accomplished those goals, or even some of those goals, what do you think allowed you to do that? How did you set yourself up for success? Okay? And that's it. We assess it. It's like data. Here's what we don't do. We don't judge ourselves. We don't beat ourselves up because there's nothing you can do now. January 2022 has come and gone. It will never come back. It's gone. It's a thing of the past. We have to move on. So how can we move on starting today? Today is the very first day of February. Let's start fresh. So you do that assessment, you get the data, and you say, okay, now in February, let me be realistic. Here are the goals that I want to achieve. Okay, what are the obligations that I have this month? What are the responsibilities, the things on my calendar, the things in my life that I cannot budge? Right? We all have those things. So then how do I build time? How do I make my time intentional to accomplish these goals, knowing that this is my life? Okay? And then you just start small. You start with these little small things. So I hope this is helpful. I'm not even sure. I was just kind of like, let's reassess. Let's get the month started. Let's figure out who we want to be. Let's get intentional. Let's get out of survival mode. It is 2022, y'all. It's time to become irresistible you. Oh my God, that just rhymed, and I did not mean to do that. Okay, that's gonna have to be on like a an Instagram or a quote or something we do or something because that's cute. Um, so it's 2022. Like, do it or don't. Like, that's how I feel at this point. It's like either do it or don't. Either up level and better your life or don't. Like, there is no more time for excuses. There is no more time to just sit around and survive. We have to survive and thrive at the same time. And this is it. Like, knowing that it's always going to be busy, it's always going to be something. There's always going to be something trying to take your attention away. Build in intentional routines. That is the key to self love. And we're going to keep talking about self love in February. The best gift you can give yourself is to uplevel yourself, to create the life that you crave, create the life that you deserve, to create an irresistible life, to become irresistible you is the best gift you can give yourself, honestly. So I hope this has been great. If you love this episode or any episode of the podcast, please leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast app. I love to read those. I love to get that feedback to know what's working here, so that we can just keep putting out really good content. I will catch you guys inside the free Facebook group. You can also connect with me on Instagram. I am at Irresistible Icing. I will catch you in the next one, guys. Until then, stay irresistible. Bye.